So Matt, today we want to talk about the closing process for purchasers. And the same kind of process applies to the seller because they're going to be reacting to the buyer part of the process, of course. So when a contract comes in, there are some contingencies, the attorney review and the inspection. So talk to us about those.
Right, so our workload starts heavily up front. The attorney review and the inspection contingencies give the buyer a 5 business day period in which they get to review the contract with their attorney and then propose modifications to the contract, request due diligence, raise any inspection items that they have based on the inspection they perform, demand association documents if that's part of the transaction, and request anything else they need answers to. That 5-day business period will probably extend a bit beyond the 5 days allotted in the contract for the parties to negotiate that. Once it's fully negotiated and the letter is completely resolved between the parties, the attorney review and inspection contingencies are hard. However, that's not the only contingency we have in the contract. We still have 2 other really important ones from the buyer side. So we have the mortgage contingency. We have the homeowners association document review contingency.
For condominiums.
For condominiums and townhomes. So as far as the mortgage contingency, it's as simple as you would think. It's an opportunity for the purchaser to have a period of time in which they can get financing. And if they cannot get the financing during that period of time, they have the right to terminate the contract and get out of it. Often, the contingency needs to be extended. So it will be our job to monitor that contingency and ask for extensions if necessary. Assuming that the loan is in place, there's another contingency that I mentioned earlier, which is the homeowners association contingency. And that's an opportunity for the buyer to demand the association documents under Illinois law, review them, ask questions, and ultimately approve or disapprove of them. We help the clients understand what they're reviewing and make sure any concerns that they have that are raised by the association documents are answered appropriately and fully. So up front, the contingencies that we deal with require a lot of our input and a lot of client coordination. But once we're done with that, we're headed towards the closing, which I think you can talk about.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to jump back in. So Matt, it sounds like there's 2 parts to the contingency process, the attorney review and the inspection. And what I like to tell my clients is that during the attorney review and inspection, we're just kind of dating. And either one of us, the buyer or the seller, can terminate for any reason, as long as it's in good faith. After those contingencies, you would need a really good reason to terminate the transaction, such as bad HOA documents or some loan difficulty that the buyer is having.
I think that's fair. I think those contingencies are usually, once resolved, pretty much make the contract hard. You want to talk about the closing?
Okay. So starting over. So the closing itself is divided in our practice into 3 parts. First, we go over the loan docs, and these are standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac.
Can I interrupt you on? Didn't you want to start with the wiring and
getting ready for the closing?
Getting ready for the closing.
Okay.
Briefly, because we go through it.
Right.